Hi everybody, this is Diana, aka Pop Culture Diva 42, and wow, it's been a week since my last video. I'm sorry I haven't kept up with the rhythm that I tried to set up for myself. I don't know what to say in my defense other than it's been a very hectic week, and pretty much every evening wasn't really in the mood to film anything or record anything. But I hope that tomorrow I'll find the time to do a review of The Three Musketeers. But until then, I'll just start off nice and easy with a versus match with a twist. But before that, let me just tell you what happened with the last versus match with a twist, which was, I think, 2 weeks ago, where I asked you who's the biggest man whore, Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, versus Oliver Queen, also known as Green Arrow. And very predictably, Tony Stark won by a landslide yet again. And I think another landslide is headed for us this week because hot on the heels of the Walking Dead premiere, which I thought was amazing. It had its faults. It wasn't as good as the pilot episode of Walking Dead, but I liked it a lot. So hot off the heels of that, because I am majorly crushing on Norman Reedus right now, and Norman Reedus plays Daryl Dixon in Walking Dead, I want to do a versus match with a twist, the special Norman Reedus edition, and I'm going to do Daryl Dixon versus Murphy McManus. Now, for those of you who don't know, Murphy McManus is one of the brothers from the Boondock Saints, from the pretty well-known action movie Boondock Saints, which I think is safe to say it has a cult following. So when I say Daryl Dixon from Walking Dead versus Murphy McManus from Boondock Saints, I have no idea what I actually want to do. I don't know. You can think of it as a fight if you want. I'd rather think of it as who's the better character for Norman Reedus. No, seriously, this video is just an opportunity for me to talk about and dream about and salivate over Norman Reedus for about 7 or 8 minutes. So it might get awkward, it might get embarrassing for myself anyway, but I think, Norman Reedus needs some love, and he's doing excellent work in Walking Dead, and that's just the thing. I think that Daryl Dixon might be his best role yet. I have known him actually since even before he did Boondock Saints, ever since he was in that stupid movie with Cyclops Gossip, with Cyclops and Sarah Connor, now that I think about it. Gossip with James Masters and Lena Headey. That's when I first noticed him, and then he played Blade's doofus evil sidekick in Blade 2. So yeah, I've known Norman Reedus for a while, and I've been following him for a while, and I think that Daryl Dixon is pretty much some of his best work ever. But is Daryl Dixon a cooler character than Murphy McManus? Well, Murphy from Boondock Saints is Irish, and he knows his way around Arsenal, obviously. And like his brother, he's on this sacred crusade to take out, to kill, to basically eliminate mobsters and criminals and the scum of the earth. So he's kind of like the McManus brothers were inspired in part by Punisher, but I guess you could say that they were the precursors to Dexter to some extent. So maybe that adds to his coolness. Of the two brothers, he's the most erratic one. He's not really, they're both pretty insane, but he's definitely the more out of control McManus brother. He's also, and ironically, he's the more out of control, and he's the less talkative of the two, although both of them, they don't really say that much. But Daryl Dixon, on the other hand, knows his way around a crossbow, and obviously he can shoot guns, and I'm sure that he and his brother from the Walking Dead universe had a pretty big arsenal, but so far I've only seen him really use the crossbow, because obviously in the Walking Dead universe a crossbow is preferable to a shotgun, because lots of noise attracts zombies. But for the sake of argument, and just so that we give Murphy at least some advantage, let's just say that Daryl is not as adept with firearms as Murphy McManus is. Also, Murphy McManus uttered the famous quote, "You and your fucking rope." And I'm really sorry for that Irish accent. But yeah, in a fight, what would happen in a fight? Well, you do have to take into account the luck of the Irish into this, whereas I don't think there's anything such as the luck of the redneck. And I hope I don't don't come off as offensive when I call Daryl a redneck, but he's a redneck. And the thing that I find fascinating about Daryl's character is that he's the kind of character that in any other circumstance, in any other situation in the world, you would think that he is the nastiest person, and you would probably hate him to no end. But in the zombie apocalypse, he's just the kind of guy that you want around. I mean, that's the guy that you want to hang out with in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. And also what I find fascinating is the fact that he is an original character. I read the comic book up until I think issue 40 or something, the Walking Dead comic books, and Daryl was created specifically for the show. Him and his brother were created for the show, and I think one of the reasons why I like him so much in the show is because I have no idea where this character is going to go. But yeah, basically you have the luck of the Irish versus the determination of the redneck in a fight between these two characters. I think that unless like God intervenes or something like that, Daryl would win this fight. It would be kind of interesting. I bet it would be. I could just see them like, you handsome devil, you. I'm so sorry, I have to kill you. I could see like barbs like that being traded. But I've come up with this new theory that actually the writers of Walking Dead may take inspiration from Norman Reedus' past performance as Murphy McManus when they are designing the character of Daryl, because you have Daryl Dixon and Murphy McManus. Both of them have the same letter for their last name and their surname, which is something typical of comic book characters. But just saying, both of them come from dysfunctional families. They both have really crazy brothers, and that's an interesting way to think about it, because that would make Murphy McManus actually the original. Ergo better, and Daryl Dixon would be the variation. Just in terms of which performance would be more important to the overall body of work of Norman Reedus, that's a tough thing to say, because Boondock Saints did give him a massive fan base, or at least in comparison to what he had before. But Walking Dead, it's still a lot of work. It's a steady job, he depending on how long the show will be on, and I'm pretty sure that they won't kill him anytime soon, because I think Daryl is one of the more popular characters of the show, and that says a lot about Norman Reedus' talent. But I really hope they're not building his character up just so they can totally demolish it later. I really hope that it won't turn out like Daryl will betray the group at some point and Rick will have to kill him, unfortunately, and breaking the hearts of millions of redneck lovers all over the world. But yeah, there was no point to this video other than me gushing over Norman Reedus. So please tell me, which character do you prefer? I'm pretty sure that Daryl is going to win this by a landslide yet again. And just tell me, what do you think about either Boondock Saints or Daryl's evolution as a character in the TV show Walking Dead. Over and out.